A growth mindset person sees every opportunity as growth. They don't attach their identity to failure that has happened in their lives. So always remember, yes, this failure has happened, but then how am I learning from this situation? Yes, I have all the resources available. How do I identify them? Just keep yourself, like, prompt your mind to think about something, and yes, your mind will trigger something. If you don't force it, if you don't give it a command to search for a specific something, it's going to create one, and most of the time it works against you. And then I want you to know that you are running a marathon. This is not a sprint, like a 100-meter race that is run in seconds. Life is a marathon. Maybe if you want to die tomorrow, but if you expect to live some very many years, this is a slow and steady race. And slow and steady comes from that that story of the hare and the tortoise. It's taught in nursery school, so that's why I got an interest in it. So this story says there was a race that was set between a hare and a tortoise. And as we know, yes, tortoises move at a very slow pace, and everyone was thinking, the hare is going to just run this thing in seconds and they're going to win. But guess what happened? So the tortoise ran, no, the hare ran, and then they reached a certain point, and I have everything available in life and I can win this race, so let me take a nap. So guy decides to nap, and then guess what tortoise did? Just kept taking simple and steady steps and kept focused to the finishing point. And guess what happened? Tortoise ran the race because they were slow but steady. That is what happens with goal setting. You're going to see people do things, take random decisions. You're going to have friends who, let me say, you have the same opportunities presented to you, but since you have different priorities, there's a way you're going to do your things that is in sort of conflict or not aligned to the way your friends are doing their things. People are going to, let me take the most common in my age bracket. People are going to take trips to push destinations. People are going to, let me also talk about in the study side, people are going to take courses, and then you're like, and then they'll be like, but you have the money, why aren't you doing these kinds of things? But then remember, you're the one in control, the one driving. The moment you take someone's choice for your life, you've left the wheel. You've made someone drive your car. That will not work for you. It works against you. The only time you involve people in your life is when you need help to achieve a target that you set for yourself, not because you need them in life. And that is what I call intentional living. Like, you're going to start having people that are supposed to propel you towards a certain thing that you're supposed to achieve for yourself, not because you need them around. The moment you start living life like that, you start having a happier life, a more fulfilled life, because you're like determining whatever is happening in your life, and it's not being ruled by someone's decision. So yes, as you see life happening around you, guess what? You're going to have that sense of contentment that, yes, this person is doing this, but it's not on my list. So I know where I'm going. My pace is steady. I know my end goal, and you're going to just get focused and move towards that. So when you feel stuck, when you feel other people's lives are moving faster than yours, just stay in control, slow and steady wins the race. Then still flat tire moment happens because we like publicizing our goals. So I've not come to you and I told you the things that I'm going to achieve in a year. The moment you make your goals public, the moment you go to your friends, even if it's sort of close circle friends, like we call them, best friends, then your goals should be as private, because no one is actually setting these goals for you. The moment your goals become public, we're going to find all the reasons possible to tell you they are not achievable. Like if I tell you I want to change career, and I get into coding, you're going to tell me I'm unserious and like, what am I even thinking about? I have a whole career set since forever. Like, I've been in this career for years, and if I start telling you I want to change, you're going to find all the reasons possible to make me change my mind. But if this is what makes me happy, and if I've kept it private, guess what? The only time people will get to know about this is when I've achieved it, is when I've done that career change, and people are like, what, you did it? Well, come. Like, you've seen so many memes on the internet where someone is like, well, I'm working towards this and this. You're not going to get so many people supporting you, but when you achieve that goal, that's when you're going to get so many kongs. They're not going to be there in the process. So keep your goals as private as possible if you want to remain in control. The moment they become public, someone is going to drift your car and you won't be in the driver's seat and you won't be able to determine the outcomes that you want. And then I talked about the short circuit moment. What happens in this case? A short circuit happens in your brain when you set something unrealistic. Your brain is not able to interpret that. Yes, I recently, like when I started getting excited about personal growth, I started getting more excited about learning how the brain works, how the human body works, and so. So a short circuit moment happens when you set a goal and it's unrealistic. For example, I say, I want to achieve, what's the weird thing I want to achieve? I want to create a rocket that's different from any other rocket that has ever been produced in 1 year. Like, if I set that on my goal list, remember that can be in the fantasy side, and it can come at certain point in the future. But then when we're looking at our goal setting, like I told you in this smart thing, it's supposed to be realistic. The moment it's not realistic for you at that point in time, your brain is going to have a short circuit moment. It's not going to be able to execute that, and you're going to get a flat tire moment. You're not going to be able to know how to transition because you said something unachievable. What happens? Your brain is going to get stressed and it's going to send to you commands of, you're not supposed to be doing this. Like, it's going to create an environment for you to quit, because I told you we are geared towards failure. When I was looking at this, our default setting is failure. We only push ourselves to get to the success side. Even if we are actually built for success, we are always defaulting towards failure. And then I want you to realize that there are no guarantees in life. Yes, you've set goals. It's not going to be an easy road for you. Life is going to happen, and you might reach a point of actually thinking the people who don't set goals are well off. You'll be starting to damage your mind. At that point, you'll be moving away from the growth mindset and you'll be moving towards a fixed mindset, which is bad and it kills. So when you get to this point, I want you to realize that you have a magic button. It's called a reset button. A reset button is helping you to go back to your goals, look at them afresh, and evaluate, with the resources that I have right now, how am I able to modify my goal? Yes, you set a goal to start a business in 2021. Then COVID happened, and then the business that you had started getting less and less customers. The default your brain is going to tell you is shut down immediately. If you ask that to any business person, their brains have told them that. They're going to tell you shut down. But then if you focus on the growth side, you're going to, if you prompt your brain to be like, no, we are not going with the default setting, so start looking for options, it's going to start prompting you to look for other ideas. Okay, what do we do? Change mode of delivery, change this, involve this person, like that. So that is what we're calling a reset. You're changing from the initial plan that you had set. You had said you're going to have a physical shop, and then COVID happened, and then your mind, in the reset button, you're going to be like, okay, instead of a physical location, I'm going online. These are the options that are available at these flat tire moments. And then there are so many more that I've not been able to mention here. But most of all, remember, even if your goals are private, your action points are actually not private. So you can be able to get help. There is a lot of help on the internet, in your circles. You have so many resources around you. So just utilize them, reach out for help while you need help. So yes, we're coming to our cookie jar. For those who missed the starting session, our cookie jar is the goodies or tools that we're going to be able to use when we're setting our goals. And then the first thing that I'm presenting to you is called the goals flowchart. You'll be able to have this, and this is going to help you have a thought process, especially when you're setting priorities in your goals. So you have a certain goal here, which I'm calling your challenge. And then go ask yourself, is it important to you? If you realize that goal that you've sent is not important to you, this arrow is going to send you back. When it sends you back, you're supposed to cancel that goal off your list because it's not important to you. It's important for someone else. If you achieve it, it's not going to excite you, and you're not going to get growth in your life because you're achieving things for other people and not for yourself. But if it's important to you, then it's going to take you to the next step. Do I have the time to commit? For example, I want to do an MBA next year. And then I realized that things have actually aligned for myself next year. There is no way I'm going to have any minute to spare to do that MBA. So if I don't have this flow chart, I'm going to put it as a goal. But if you have this flow chart, it's going to be like, based on the time that you've set to do this and this and this, you actually don't have time. So get it off the list. So this is going to help you get that off the list. Go back to the list, pick another goal. Assuming you have the time to commit, you go to the next step. Do you have the resources? So yes, very well, you want to do your MBAs, and then it costs 25 million. Do you actually have that, or there is actually some other thing that you want that is more pressing for that? So the moment you realize, no, you actually don't have 25 million because you're supposed to do some other thing with that money, it's going to send you back to the starting point. Pick another goal. So until you have all the yeses on this list, that is when you should go ahead to plan. Until you have yeses, don't plan for anything. It will be wasted time because you won't be able to execute, and your brain is going to get a short circuit moment if you don't have all the yeses to this flow chart. And then there's this resource as well that I'm going to share with you. And this is going to also help you think. And I have this quote that they put: the only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. Like I told you, only decide who you want to be if you're the one in control, if you've taken the opportunity to be in the driver's seat in your vehicle and not to be in the passenger side. So here you're going to write your goal. You're going to set your target date of whatever, 31st December or 1st March, whatever. And then there is a question here: how will I know I've achieved my goal? You should be able to know, otherwise you won't be able to evaluate. If you don't know what makes you realize you've achieved a goal, then it's not a smart goal. It's supposed to rethink it and make sure you know what shows that you've achieved a certain goal. And then here, there is a question that's saying, my strength that will help me achieve this goal are, list down whatever you think is your strength for achieving a certain goal. And we're going to look at an example goal. So don't worry if you're not able to know how to apply this. And then I love this side because it says this goal is important to me because if you don't have a reason why you're setting a certain goal, if this place remains blank, that means that is not your goal. So take it off the list because you're not the one who will be driving your vehicle of life. And then this worksheet is going to help you show the obstacles that may arise when you're trying to work towards the goal. These obstacles are nice because when they happen, they won't be accidental. You will have thought about them. If I want to lose 20 kilograms next year, and then I'm like, okay, what's the worst that can happen? I don't know, I failed to run because of bad weather, such, that can be an obstacle. And then here it comes, how do I plan to respond to each obstacle? So due to bad weather, here I make a plan and be like, in case it's extremely bad weather outside, I should be able to do 15 minutes of indoor workouts or get an indoor that meal thing that people use or get some weights. So guess what happens? If bad weather ever happens, I'll be able to go back to my goal and I'll be like, well, this obstacle has happened. What did I say I will be doing in this instance? So instead of seeing obstacles and then telling your brain to shut down, you'll be able to actually use the action points that you already set for yourself and you'll be able to proceed. So you won't be able to have a flat tire moment as you will have thought through the goal. And then this actually is saying what will be different when I achieve my goal. Well, I will lose weight and then maybe I'll look better, something. I'll stop feeling whatever happens anyway. You'll be knowing why you want to achieve and then how different that goal will make you. And then the next best steps. So after you've done that, what is the follow-up thing that you can do? So this worksheet is going to help you as you're setting your goals to have a thing like through all these different points, and this will help you have a very smart goal that you're able to execute. So this is an example goal that I set on categories of financial and families. We're going to just walk through it, and this is how simple your goals should be. And you're going to see so many good-looking templates and books on the internet, but that is not what makes a goal. It's like getting the most expensive gym wear, but then tucking it away in a suitcase. It's not going to make you lose weight. It's going to just be some expenditure you made, and you have to actually put in work for these goals to make. So it doesn't matter how beautiful the template is, how expensive you bought a certain goal setting template, it's actually the work that you put in that matters. So my templates usually look like this, and it's usually a piece of paper I've plucked out of the book, and yeah, it's the intention that matters. So under financial, I'm saying the goal is to have a starter emergency fund of 500,000 shillings. And then I'm saying the time frame to achieve this is January to March 2020 to 5 months. So instead of stopping there, I'm actually putting action points or the steps I'm supposed to make to achieve that. And here I'm saying I'm supposed to save 150,000 a month and 200,000 in the last month. And then I'm supposed to find alternatives where I'll put this money by mid-January. Because it like you have assuming you've been able to save 150, 200, where is it actually going to be? So this worksheet is supposed to say, well, I'm going to have to research about where do I put the emergency fund money, and then I have this amount set per month, and then I'm supposed to achieve this by March. So after January, you'll be able to go back and evaluate, did I find the alternatives? Then you tick that. And then you'll be like, okay, have I been able to save 150 a month and then 200K. Have I been able to achieve my 500K? You'll be like, yes. And then you take that off and you'll be able to just move. So your brain is going to, like I told you, to release an endorphin. Anytime you get excited, you'll get more like sort of a driven purpose in life. You become a better person, and yeah, you'll just testify about what happens. Sort of a miracle, but it has an explanation why it's happening to you. So then I have this other goal of add an extra source of income, bringing a minimum of 100,000 a year. This looks like a very little money, having 100,000, but guess what happens if you don't set a goal of having an extra source of income? You won't actually look for it, because even if an opportunity presents itself, even if someone probes you to do something and they pay you, if you don't have it as a goal, you won't be able to have that income. Trust me, like it won't happen as a miracle that your net worth has doubled. You have to make intentional steps, and by that I'm meaning a goal for you to achieve that. And then here for the action points, I'm saying I'll be researching about alternatives available, and then what interests me and how I'll be able to make that kind of money. So on family, like I told you, life is not in a box. We have so many other attributes that make life more meaningful. So it's not all about money. That's why you need to focus on other areas where you need to put in effort. So here I'm saying family, I'm like go on at least one date every 2 months with my husband, with no kids are allowed. And then here I'm supposed to set the dates and go ahead and book them in the calendar, so that I'm not like, oh, in Jan you're supposed to go on a date and you've forgotten about that. And guess the action points. Well, if you have kids, you're saying no kids allowed on your goal. So you're supposed to find a babysitter who will be with your kids at this point. So on the dates that you've booked, communicate to whoever you think will be babysitting, work on a plan if they want compensation for that. And if you book them in advance, you'll be able to achieve your goal, because yes, you have the dates set already, and then you have the babysitters booked, works all for you. And then the rest, of course, this is like spending quality time with the kids, blah, blah. You'll be able to read through that, but I hope it paints the picture of how a goal should be and how intentional your steps or action items should be. So this, my goodies jar, this is the resources that I'm leaving with you guys to research more and get more knowledge on this topic. And here I'm having a cloud that is saying information does not bring transformation, conversion does. So it doesn't matter how much information you have about personal growth, about goal setting, you actually have to convert that information into action points, and that is the only way you'll be able to convert it to something that's meaningful and then transforms your life. So I have worksheets that I'm going to share with you via email for those of you who registered. I'll send this to you on email, and then there's these positive psychology worksheets, and I'm sharing with you a link to positive psychology. These guys have a lot of information about mindset. If you have issues with mindset, how to start looking at life in a positive way, there is a lot of resources, and there are people to help, people you can talk to. There is just a lot of information on this site, and it will help. Then there's a time tracker. This is just for productivity if someone has it on their goals for the year. I'll share that with you, and I'll share with you this template that I've included in here, the thought process, this goals flow chart. I'll be sharing with you this. And the best person I know about personal growth and goals is called Brian Tracy. I've mentioned him over and over. This guy will just change your life in a 360 degrees. So There's a lot of information. There's a lot of webinars he has had. It's worth the time. So get time, watch this guy's videos, check his resources. Most of them are free. Use them and you see a very significant change in your life. So we're coming to the end of our session. And I'm just telling you guys that, so yeah, I'm saying it's not about becoming successful that is most important, but it's the person you must become in order to become successful. And that person you must become is a transformed person. You're supposed to have that mindset shift. And the moment your mindset is shifted, you're going to see a 360 turn in your life. And guess what? So many people of us, like if you ask who wants change, so many people will raise up their hands. But then if you say, okay, who wants to change? So many people are in their comfort zones. They don't want to do anything about it. And that is the example I gave here about the wolf that you're feeding. If you're feeding comfort, you're feeding the failure wolf. It's going to get big, it's going to eat you up. So let's be willing to change. Let's work on our mindsets. Let's set goals with the resources I've had. And yes, I can guarantee goal setting works and to have a significant change in your lives. So I've talked for 2 hours, guys. Ask questions. All right. So guys, I'll send this material to you on email. I'll send other resources through email and just let me know where I can help. And yeah, I'm more than willing to help. So I wish you the very best. Have a mindset change, work towards those goals, live an intentional life, be in the driver's seat. Just have a control of your life and don't just go through life knowing someone is coming to help. Someone is actually not coming to help. So if you want results, you're the one to determine what you want to happen in your life and how you're supposed to achieve that. Thanks so much.